Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tongue piercing update. I was going to say tongue ring, but my tongue piercing update. So it's been, geez, dog and cat are having a scrap back there. Hold on, let me go to my Instagram because honestly I don't know how long it's been. It's been about 3 months, so I'll call this a 3-month update. But yeah, so I got my tongue pierced about 3 months ago. And if you want to know more about my experience, things like that, I'll put a little info card up here. I'll also put a link in the description if I remember to do either one of those. I got my tongue pierced 3 months ago. Have noticed that I have, saying certain words has become not necessarily problematic, but I just notice it more. I notice that I kind of have to focus more on saying certain words. And if I end up talking too fast, I notice that those words do end up slurring together, and I attribute that definitely to my tongue piercing. But I do, I don't know, I have points where I'm like, the tongue piercing is fine, I like it, it's, you know, fun and whatever. And then other points where I'm like, I hate this thing, take it out of my mouth, I don't want it in here anymore. So, I don't know. I think I'll keep it in for a little bit longer, but you know, I don't think it's going to stay around for too long because eventually I'm going to get sick and tired of it. So there's that. But as far as like learning how to eat and things like that, it hasn't been that difficult. I never actually found eating to be particularly difficult. One thing that I did notice that was a little awkward was trying to eat with silverware, just because like spoons and forks and things that go in your mouth and hit your tongue, you're just kind of like, where do I put it, you know? But eventually you get used to it, like you get used to anything, you know? Another food that I found particularly odd and difficult to eat, again, were anything that I had to like, you know, like put in my mouth. I was gonna say anything that you have to put in your mouth, but I guess anything you eat goes in your mouth. But like popsicles, lollipops, suckers, mints, things like that were particularly challenging to figure out how to work around that, you know, in your mouth. But again, as all things, you get used to it. I'm trying to think of anything else that, you know, I've kind of noticed throughout having the tongue piercing. I wear Bioplast tongue rings or tongue bars, if you want to be technical, in my tongue piercing, just because I have had a really difficult time with biting on my tongue ring and biting on the balls while I'm eating, and I don't have so much of a difficult time now, but when I first got it, I bit my tongue bar or bit the balls on my tongue ring at least 5 times, I would say, when I would eat, and it hurts. It hurts. Even with the acrylic balls, it still hurts, depending on how hard you're chewing and what you're chewing on, you know. Obviously, if you're like chewing on macaroni, I don't think you're gonna be, you know, using your jaw muscles as much as if you're like trying to chomp on a steak, you know, but it all just depends on what you're eating. I also noticed if I put a lot of food in my mouth at one time and would eat, that I would be more susceptible to biting on my tongue ring, just because it's kind of one of those things where if there's less food in my mouth, I can still kind of feel my tongue ring and feel where it is, and that way I can kind of maneuver it around my teeth so I don't bite on it. But if there's so much food in my mouth that I can't really distinguish where my tongue ring is, then I was more susceptible to biting on it. And that was the constantly biting on it, because it hurts. It hurts my jaw whenever I bite on it. It hurts my teeth and it hurts my jaw. It doesn't ever hurt my tongue because my tongue is healed and that's fine, but it does hurt my teeth and it hurts my jaw whenever I do that. And when I first got it pierced, obviously I was pierced with a metal barbell, and so I had a metal thing in my mouth and metal balls in my mouth, and I became very concerned about the health of my teeth if I were to continue to bite on it like I was. And so that's when I decided to switch to Bioplast tongue rings, just because I knew that at least if I bit on it, it wouldn't hopefully be as damaging as it would be on biting on something that's metal and biting hard on something that's metal. So I did buy a pack of Bioplast tongue rings off of Amazon, and I've gone through a decent amount of them because that's one thing about Bioplast is I play around with my tongue ring a lot, which I know you're not supposed to do. I do it anyway. One of my favorite things to do with my tongue ring is I do this a lot, and I do it on the other side. So I basically do that with the bottom and the top. And I do that all the time, and I bite on it. And with the Bioplast, since it's plastic and it's very malleable, is that right? It's very bendy, and so when you bite on it, since it's soft plastic, it's obviously going to warp out of shape and you're going to kind of squish it. And I have plenty of tongue rings that I've thrown out because I literally have just like chewed it up. It's like when you take a straw, like a plastic straw, and you chew on it, like obviously you're never going to get it back into a normal plastic straw shape, so you just throw it out. Obviously, but not like you should technically be reusing plastic straws, but you know what I mean. But it doesn't ever go back to that normal shape, and when it's in your mouth like that, sometimes I bite on it that it bends it weird, and then it fits in my mouth weird, and so then I change it and put in something that's more comfortable, obviously. But that is one thing that I do have, like, I wouldn't say problems with, because it's my own problem. I created that problem. If I didn't like it, I would just stop doing it, but it's a problem that I'm just going to deal with because that's me. But I guess that is one thing about Bioplast tongue rings that you don't, you know, that you have to worry about, that you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about with a metal barbell. Of course, if you like bit into a metal barbell and it started doing that, then I would be concerned. Be trying to think of anything else that people would have questions about. Oh yeah, I get a lot on YouTube, mainly YouTube, because I don't have a lot of like followers, I guess. I just like farted when I said that with my mouth, not with my butt. I made like a sound with, anyway. I don't really have a whole lot of followers on my other social media accounts, but I do always link them below, my Twitter, my Instagram, so check me out down there. But I guess because since YouTube is like my main platform, I get a lot of comments on YouTube, especially on my tongue ring videos. They are my most popular videos on my channel, and I get a lot of comments talking about the sexual side of a tongue ring. And I'm actually going to tell you guys, we're going to get personal, okay? We're going to get real personal, so let's sit down, let's have a chat. First things first, I got this tongue ring not for sexual pleasure. Actually, I didn't plan on getting a tongue piercing. Here's the thing. When I was about 13 or 14, I wanted my industrial pierce, which is the bar that goes across the top of your cartilage, the top of your ear. It goes in one side, out the other, and it's the bar. That's your industrial piercing. I wanted one of those, I wanted my belly button pierced, and I wanted my tongue pierced. Never ended up getting the industrial because I just don't want to do it. I just don't. I've seen videos, I did a lot of research, heard it takes a really long time to heal, heard it hurts like a bitch, and I just don't want to deal with that. My body takes forever to heal anyway, and I don't want to deal with it. Dealing with my tragus getting pierced was such a pain in the ass, and it's finally to a point now where it's like, it's good, but just having to deal with that, I was like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Like anywhere else on my ears, don't want to deal with it, and don't really want to deal with it in any other places on my body except for one, I guess two. When I was 16 for my birthday, I got my belly button pierced, and I don't know if I've done a video about that or not, but maybe I will talk about it. But basically, I got my belly button pierced twice. First time it rejected, second time it was migrating and basically on its way to rejection, but I took it out before it actually rejected out of my body. Didn't do that the first time. Sorry, I'm like been talking all day, so my voice is a little hoarse, but I had a really poor experience with my belly button piercing, and I had a nasty scar there because of it. And then as I got older, you know, I kind of grew out of, you know, piercings because I was old enough to get tattoos, and so I kind of moved on to that avenue, and I got tattoos instead of piercings because one, I found my body liked them a lot more, and two, I found out that I liked them a lot more than piercings. And I guess the thing is with tattoos, obviously, is they're more permanent than piercings, but again, my body loved tattoos. The only complaint I have about tattoos is every now and then I get bouts of psoriasis, and it's not even like, it's not like the psoriasis that you see on like the TV commercials. Basically what happens is some parts of my tattoos get inflamed just within the tattoo itself, never on like my other skin areas. It's always within like the black ink and things like that. It'll become inflamed and it'll itch. That's it. I just put some vitamin E oil on it and I clean it with antibacterial soap, and within a week it's gone. That's the only complaint that I have about my body not liking tattoos, but other than that, my body does great with them. Which is funny because my dermatologist a long time ago said to never get tattoos because my body would hate them, so fuck you. But anyway, so I had been on this body modification craze, and I was wanting to do stuff with my body. I gotten almost all of the tattoos that I want. There's still one more tattoo that I really want, and then other than that, maybe 2 more tattoos. I kind of want to get a spine piece, but I'm not brave enough for that yet. But I do want to get a portrait piece of my 2 main cats that we got, Harley and Mr. J. I do want to get a colored traditional style portrait piece of them. But other than that, I got pretty much all the tattoos out of the way that I wanted. I was pretty happy with everything, and then I got into this mood of like, haven't done anything with my body lately. I want to do something like not necessarily crazy, but I want to get something new. So I dabbled around with the idea of nipple piercings, and I've wanted nipple piercings for a while. So I really wanted nipple piercings for a while, but I was in between deciding if I was really gonna do it or not. And I was talking to Micah about it because he, not that Micah like dictates my life, but obviously we live together, we are a couple, we're a very serious couple, and obviously his opinion matters, and obviously if we're gonna be, you know, sexually active, we need to kind of have that discussion, because obviously if we're sexually active and I have nipple piercings, you can't be like grabbing up on my boobs because they're gonna hurt. And so I had to, you know, we just had a conversation about it, because I was like, well, if I'm gonna get them, then you just need to be aware that, you know, my nipples will be very sensitive, and you know, it's something that we're gonna have to be consciously aware of for a while, because they take a while to heal. And so that was something else in my mind that, you know, I had to kind of take into consideration when getting my nipples pierced, because again, we're gonna get real personal, real personal, okay? So if you don't like this kind of talk, then bye, because that's pretty much all I'm gonna talk about for the rest of the video, and then I'm gonna end it. But so when me and Micah are sexually active, that is one thing that he enjoys and that I enjoy, is playing with my chest area. So obviously if I were gonna have nipple piercings, that area would kind of be out of the question for a while, because one, Mike is not going to be able to put his mouth anywhere near that, because that is just bacteria infestation and like an infection waiting to happen. Not saying that Micah has like a dirty mouth, you know, but like that's like number 1 no-no is like, don't do that, because obviously like when it comes to like genitalia piercings, nipple piercings, things like that, like obviously a tongue piercing is different because it's like your own germs in there, but obviously you don't want someone like going in there with their tongue licking around all over a fresh new wound, because like it's just lots of bacteria you don't want to deal with. So obviously that would be out of the question, and you know, touching it and grabbing it, and you know, as a couple, obviously we're very comfortable with each other, so every now and then, you know, Michael, like even if we're just like standing around like in the house talking whatever, we'll like honk my boobs, you know, whatever, it's fine, stuff couples do, whatever. But you know, obviously all of that would be out of the question, and that would be something that we would have to be consciously aware of pretty much all the time, until they were healed. And so that was something that, you know, we just had to kind of mentally prepare ourselves for, because it's obviously not just about me, it was about him too, because he would have to be consciously aware of that as well. And then if he were to do it on accident, not remembering that I had my nipples pierced, then it would hurt, and then I would be mad at him, and then, you know, it would delay the healing process and all of that stuff. And so eventually it just became a hassle to think about. And so Micah was like, well, why don't you, and I was like, well, I've also been thinking about, you know, getting my tongue pierced, so I might just do that instead because it'd be easier. He was basically just like, you know, start off with your tongue piercing and then kind of progress to, you know, the more extreme, if you feel like you want to, you know? And so I'm still on the fence again, because like nipple play and things like that are something that is very much incorporated into Mike and I's sex life, and so I personally I don't want to deal with it, you know? Like, I think they're sexy, I think they're hot, I think they would look great once they're healed. It's just getting past that, getting to that healed stage will take so long, especially for my body, and I would become so frustrated during that period of time, and so I just don't think I want to deal with it. And plus I heard that they make your nipples like exceedingly or excessively sensitive to the point where it's not pleasurable anymore, and I don't want that. So for right now, you know, I was just like, you know, whatever, I'll get my tongue pierced first, and then later down the road, if I feel like it, I'll get my nipples pierced. So that's the whole reason why I got my tongue pierced. Actually wanted my nipples pierced first, and then decided I was gonna get my tongue pierced instead. So there's that. And also, again, with the whole sexualizing tongue piercings, I get that a lot. I get those comments a lot. The only reason why I haven't like talked on it is because one, again, didn't get my tongue pierced because of sexual reasons. I got it pierced, obviously, one, because I wanted to, and two, in kind of in place of getting my nipples pierced. But that didn't take out, you know, that aspect of my life, because again, we're gonna get real personal. I do things with my mouth for Micah, and that's fine. He likes it, I like it, it's all good. Like, judge me if you want to judge me. But yeah, so that's not like, it's not like that wasn't ever like a thing, you know, like, not that that wasn't a question, or not like that wasn't like an idea in my head of, you know, well, this could, you know, maybe like improve our sex life, or it could, you know, open up this new avenue for us, you know. And that's fine. Like, experimenting is fine, like, whatever. And, you know, not saying that you should get a tongue piercing for the purpose of sexual pleasure. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. If you want to get a tongue piercing because you want to fucking, like, suck dick good, or you want to, like, you know, lick pussy good, then you do that. Whatever. Do what you want to do. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm not here to judge you, so whatever. But again, not explicitly saying, but again, I'm not saying that I did that for that purpose, but again, not that that's a bad thing, you know, not that I, you know, thought like, oh, well, I would never do that, you know. But obviously that's me and Micah's life, and we do whatever the hell we want to do. And so, you know, having this as like, again, as an extra like boost in our sexual life, then, you know, why not? And I don't know, I feel like I could make a whole rant video on why we just should leave people the fuck alone. To an extent, obviously, like, there should still be laws in place. Obviously, people shouldn't just go murdering because they feel like murdering, you know, that's a terrible thing. But, you know, if people want to do shit with their sex life, let them do kinky shit, let them be weird, let them, you know, be whatever they want to do, you know. Let them be cats, let them be submissive, let them have daddies, let them have caregivers, let them have mommies, let them, you know, sexually identify themselves as whatever the fuck they want to sexually identify themselves at. I hate the whole like, oh, well, I identify as a couch, you know. And it's like, good for you, good for you. I'm glad you found your identity. If you want me to refer to you as couch from now on, then I will, you know. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't give a fuck, and I don't think other people should give a fuck. It's your fucking life. If they want to be so nosy about it, then that's on them. But anyway, so that was a long-winded video about my tongue piercing. If you have any questions about my tongue ring, about my tongue piercings, things like that, haven't bought any new tongue jewelry just because I bought so much at one time that I haven't gone through all of those yet, so I don't really feel like buying new tongue rings at the moment. So I don't have any new tongue rings to show you or new tongue rings to try on, but I will put, again, another link in the description box or right up there of me trying on all my tongue piercings or tongue rings. That was weird. But I will put a link in the description or up here of my video of me trying on all of my tongue rings. But if you have any other questions about my tongue piercing experience that wasn't answered in my original video, let me know. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, go down below, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified of when I upload videos. Also, check out my social media accounts below. Also, yes, I have scars on my arm. No, these are not cuts. These are actually old scars. My body just hates me and likes to make scars very, very dark on my arm. I will do a whole video about that, but I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! But basically, my tongue piercing experience was... My cat has, okay, there we go. My cat and dog are having a little scrappy scrap. They're not happy. Well, she's not happy, and then he's not happy because she's barking at him. Hey, hey, stop it. Stop it. Come here. Up here. Come here. You're fine. You're fine. Yes, you're just a big baby. Oh, you're gonna bite me. You don't want to be held. Oh, God. Okay. Yes, you're fine. I promise. You're fine. Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. You okay? Okay. Yeah, so I got my tongue pierced about 3 months ago. The whole experience, all of that was just fine. I have noticed, you get smacked in the face. Serves you right for sticking your nose up in his business. Oh, baby. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Are you okay? You okay? Did you get hit in the nose? You get hit in the eye, huh? You alright? Look at me. Okay, your eye's not red. You're fine. You're a big baby. God. You're such a big baby. Look at this. Look at this. You're such a big baby. You're such a big baby. Yes, you're such a big baby. Oh, God, my face. My face. You're fine. Can I just tell you, hold on, side note, my dog is the biggest baby in the world. Like, I remember one time we were at John and Debbie's house, and me, John, and Debbie were all in the kitchen, and she's like wandering around the house doing whatever, and all of a sudden she starts like yelping and screaming, and then she's like limping in the kitchen, and we're like, what did you do? And then like we get her over here, and we coddle her, and we love her, and we give her attention, and we're like, yo, poor baby, are you okay? What's the matter? Why are you limping? And then all of a sudden she's fine, and she's just like, yeah, okay, thanks for the love, that's all I wanted. I just wanted some attention. That's all I wanted is some attention, and then I'm fine. She's such a big baby. She's just like, she's just a big baby. That's literally all I can say. But yeah, so anyway, I got my tongue pierced. This is such a sidetracked story.